Hello and welcome to the Nota Spring 2016 Championship Tournament. I am your host, Forboding Angel. I'm joined by Koyote Kamper.
Hey everybody.
And this is going to be Pepe versus Godde. And we are on Parched Mesa. Looks like they're both more or less starting in the center. Part of me wonders...
I don't believe that they've actually moved their cursors yet.
Oh, okay. One thing strikes me. What if you actually started on top of the plateau? Would that give you an advantage?
It might give you advantage against certain units, but for the it might protect your tower quite a bit from Raider. You might not get cheesed as easily.
Yeah, this is true. Now Pepe has that. Godde's side doesn't. Well, actually, technically, Godde's side could be a little bit more because, you know, they'll have to labor up the hill to get to it, but it's a thought. And, okay.
Well, they are starting right there in the middle.
Yeah. Okay, and spawning on the left-hand side in the green, we have Pepe.
And in the middle on the right is Godde.
All right, and... let's see, what do we have coming out of Godde? Lots of eco. Now to Pepe, much the same. No factories queued up that I can see.
So far, they're just doing eco.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect K-bots. I don't expect anything else.
Well, you know, I was kind of thinking about that, and K-bots would, of course, be the obvious choice, but you can only get through the mouths of these passages. I mean, there's pretty much no way around it. So, realistically, I would think as core, you could probably use levelers. And with just a couple levelers, hold that center passage because the splash damage is going to wreak havoc over these.
I would be scared of getting outmaneuvered really hard.
That's true. It wouldn't take much, and then you're in real trouble. Speaking of K-bots, looks like Pepe's getting a K-bot factory up. He's going to start us off with some peewees. And it looks like...
A good thing to note would be that Godde is playing core, and Pepe is playing arm.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I... forgot to mention that. Yeah, and it looks like we're going to have a bunch of AKs coming out of Godde. No surprise there. Pepe is getting the rest of his metal extractors up. He's going to be throwing some wind and radar tower on top of his little plateau there. It's a good spot for it.
Alright, something right off the bat I've noticed is going straight for the AKs. Pepe has a very, very thought out queue, it seems. He's got triple peewees, a single FARC, 8 hammers, and a shooter, as well as a radar bot coming out.
I like the shooter thrown in there.
Yeah, that should do some work. I don't think it's very useful against these AKs, really. If anything else gets mixed in, I would see it as being useful, but I don't believe it'll be the most useful thing ever against these AKs.
Well, yeah, I agree. However, if he could get it stuck on, say, the top of one of these hills near an opening, it could be in a nice spot to deal out some damage without Godde noticing.
I would think he would notice, but it probably will end up paying for itself if he gets it in a good space.
Okay, looks like Godde's coming pretty much through all the nooks and crannies here. We got our first little skirmish between two hammers and an AK. This AK is going to get all kinds of good info. Well,
if it keeps moving, it'll probably get out of range of those hammers and might actually start taking out some.
Yep, he should be able to
some
get
of the
this
equipment sitting around.
Yep, okay, gets
Got
one
one.
metal extractor. That already paid for itself. And
Doesn't look like Godde is going to be switching the AK building.
no.
Also putting up a vehicle fac, which is interesting. I actually wouldn't have thought he'd try to get one of those up as quickly as he did.
As someone who loves vehicles, I wholeheartedly support his decision. Especially core vehicles.
I knew you would. Yes.
Core vehicles are amazing. And I am a huge fan of the leveler, buffered by just smaller, shoddier units. Okay, looks like Godde is lining up his AKs along this hill. Looks like he's kind of just wanting to contain for the moment.
Yeah.
Now he while being annoying.
Godde has 26.5 metal income, and Pepe has 14.
Holy
I believe
fuck.
there's a small amount of reclaim coming in from Godde, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm. Man, that is a big difference. But
They're
Godde,
very similar on energy. They are almost exactly the same. Godde is very slightly ahead, so that means that he probably won't be able to produce a lot more. He's going to run out of energy if he does, but for the time being, he's going to be in an advantage.
hey, looks like we have a single AK annoying these hammers. And let's see. Looks like Godde doesn't really want to show where he has all his AK cards hidden. He's got these AKs in the slightly below center. He backed them up when he didn't really need to, and something tells me that he's actually planning on using them to essentially annoy the pass, get everything focused there, and then come in from the bottom with all these AKs that he has down there.
Yes.
And that would be devastating because that's directly in Pepe's energy.
Yeah. Something Godde does every single game is he sets up some raiders on both sides of your base and just sets them there. Obnoxious. You're not going to be extending very easily with them sitting around like that.
Godde's getting some air. And also, hey, check this out. Godde's going levelers. All of a sudden, I got happy.
Good call.
And, okay, it looks like Pepe's possibly going to push up this center pass here. And he's going to see all those AKs very shortly. That's probably somewhat annoying for Godde because I imagined that he was wanting those K-bots to walk right by his AKs so he could just go in and... Because there's an excellent chance that Pepe's units would immediately turn around and defend his base. So not only has he lost all the eco that got hit in the process of that, he also lost the battle that he was trying to force.
I don't see Pepe trying to expand almost at all at this point. And Godde has been hard expanding this whole game.
Yeah, this fight was awful for him. These AKs have all the advantage. And
yeah,
Godde may just push in here. I don't think he has enough to really make it worth, because I think that by the time he gets halfway there, he'll lose all his AKs. It won't be worth losing all of them. But really kind of depends on what Pepe does with it. He's still retreating and shelling these, so...
Yeah.
In the meantime,
I think he was trying to get value out of those hammers on that hill, but he never took the hill.
Mm-hmm. And we do have in the south 3 AKs annoying these solar collectors. And at the same time, we've got Avengers coming out of Godde.
Yeah.
You were...
Killing those solars isn't really going to be the biggest blow on, really just short of metal. Mm-hmm. He's got plenty of... He's been building all of these wind generators up on this hill, but he has no metal income to actually supplement those.
Mm-hmm.
So...
If he doesn't want to... If he doesn't want to deal with this, then pretty much he needs to start putting up turrets. Which he is doing in the bottom, but... You mentioned that he's so low on metal. Yeah, it's killing him.
At this point, Godde is just kind of strangling him out. I don't feel that there's any way that he can expand very safely or get any kind of actual metal income going up at this point. I think he would have had to try doing that a couple minutes ago.
Is now a good time to mention the pretty much exclusive amount of AKs coming out of Godde?
That factory has not switched off of AKs this entire game. He had 11 queued up, and there's still been 11 queued up ever since. With no variation.
Okay, so there is a silver lining for Pepe. At least there was for a moment. He had a single Pee-wee down here in the bottom right taking out Eco, but unfortunately he's not paying attention to it and allowed it to focus on a constructor instead of the AK killing it. So yeah. That dream is no longer alive. We do have some Zeus.
I like the AKs following around his constructors. That's cute.
Mm-hmm. Effective,
Smart, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we have 30 AKs sitting over here just beyond these hill, and basically that's going to come up versus 7 hammers, 3 Pee-wees, 2 shooters, and a single Zeus. I feel as though if he had an extra Zeus in there, that could really kind of help turn the tide for him. But and we've got a strategic bomber.
Now we've got a thunder going down here. Oh, it didn't die.
Nope.
It lived.
Yeah, it is going back to get repaired. Looks like we got Avengers taking... Oh, man.
Yeah, the Avenger took out one of his Toadfoots.
Mm-hmm. And, okay, so, worth noting, Pepe obviously has gotten air, but Pepe is now producing out of 2 factories. Man, his his metal income is so weak at the moment.
Yeah, it's 28 to 72. 21 to 72, excuse me.
Yeah, this
21 to 72 metal income with plenty. Godde is actually really light on. He doesn't have enough energy to keep up with that metal income that he has. He hasn't been building enough of that. Yeah, but Godde's been excessing on metal the whole game, and Pepe hasn't had enough metal to build in anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I suppose that is a silver lining right there, is that Godde has not been keeping up his energy equivalent with his metal, so he hasn't actually been producing at the rate he...
Yeah.
Still not looking good, though.
In the realm of silver linings, it's a small one, but hey,
that is one.
It's one Pepe will take. Now, it is worth noting that Pepe's southern line is actually pretty well protected. There's a sentinel sitting down there, and oh, okay. Pepe throws in the towel. Okay. That was abrupt, but congratulations to Godde. Looks like he will be advancing on.